What's going on, y'all? We're back. The early evening show with Tyrone Miller. You know who I am. I'm Tyrone Miller. And we got a beautiful guest here, Hannah Rae Deale. Give it up for Hannah Rae Deale. There's no studio audience, but we're going to give it up for you. Yeah, we got to cheer, man.
Thank you.
First off, thank you for coming on.
Of course, thank you for having me.
What? It's a win-win, man. So tell the people where we met.
So we met doing background work. 2, 3 years ago?
I feel like it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep.
It was just like 3 awesome, long
super
days.
long days, man. It was real long.
Tyrone got a parking ticket.
I did. Third day, man. It was 3 days in Brooklyn. Third day got the ticket.
But yeah, we met there, and now the project's out, and we're featured background.
Yo,
so
that's what I'm talking about. If you watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith, look for us. You gotta look, but you don't gotta look that hard.
Look at this side of my face. If camera passes like this.
It was a good look, though. I can recognize you.
It was a cool look.
I sent you a message on Instagram, like, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. We weren't a couple, but we were standing next to each other. So I don't know if we were supposed to be a couple, but we were having a great conversation.
We were having a great time at that party.
We did. We had a great time. But you're an actress.
I am.
So talk about the journey. You're in New York City now. Yeah. I know a little backstory. I don't think the people do. Tell us how you got here, where you're from, and what made you want to get into acting.
Yeah, I'm originally from Virginia, born and raised. I just always loved movies as a kid.
Right.
Like, I grew up with a very movie-centered family. We watched, like, that was our social time and, like, bonding time together. Was like we would sit on the couch and watch movies.
Beautiful.
And I think it always really, like, enamored me, especially, like, leading women. It was so cool, but couldn't put a name to it yet, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was just this, I really enjoyed it. And then I did, like, theater late in high school. I think The Little Mermaid was my first show.
Oh, look at you.
And I'm not a singer by any means, but one of my best friends, Ben, who's now living here in the city with me.
Shout out to Ben.
Shout out Ben.
Yeah.
He was the lead in the show, and he was also my next door neighbor. We grew up on opposite sides of the same block, and he kind of got me into it. And
I love that.
There was something about not necessarily being on the stage, but just performing,
right?
And telling a story and taking people in an audience to, like, a different place that was so cool, and it, like, felt right. I was never really, like, I'm a smart person, but I was never an academic in high school. There wasn't, like, anything that really called to me academically that would have taken me to college. You know what I mean? Like, I played basketball for, like, 5.5 years, but my grades started slipping doing that all the time. So my parents pulled me out, and then I got into theater. And then I took a gap year out of high school. I worked 2 jobs, tried to save up some money to go to college, maybe just, like, for a GED, just to have it. I enrolled in, like, community college, and then I was like, this doesn't feel right.
Right.
And I talked to my parents and said, I want to go to acting school. And we were fortunate enough, and they were generous enough to have supported it. And they were like, all right, girl, go for it.
I love that.
So I auditioned for 3 different schools, and I got into my dream school, which brought me here to New York. My parents visited New York a lot when I was young, so I fell in love with it from a really young age. I was like, this is so cool.
Right.
It's so cool.
No place in the world like New York City.
No, not at all. And, like, obviously living here now as an adult is very different than visiting as a kid.
Of course.
But I wanted to be here so badly. And then I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in Hell's Kitchen. And I graduated online during COVID.
Ooh, congrats, good job. That's a hard thing to do.
We got the conservatory certificate, we really did, but now I'm back living in New York, and Ben lives here now as well, which is literally the coolest thing ever.
That is super cool. Your childhood neighbor in Virginia now lives in New York City.
Maybe like 6, 7 blocks away from me. It's
how often do you guys see each other?
Literally every week.
Love it.
Yeah, we are. That's like my ride or die. We've known each other since I was in 6th grade.
That's fire.
It's
and
so
that's
cool.
rare. You get somebody. You moved to New York City to pursue the acting, and you have somebody that's right there with you that you grew up with.
It's so comforting. Like,
has to be.
He's family to me at this point.
Of course.
And he's family to my family. So it's being far from home. I'm so close with my family, and my family's huge. So sometimes it is hard being away from them, but, like, having friends that feel like home,
right?
You can't make that up.
It takes you home when you're with them.
So good. It's the best.
It is. It makes the transition a lot easier.
Yes, absolutely.
Love that, man. Oh, that's so. Listen, man, I just want to commend you for taking the leap and figuring it out early. You didn't figure it out early, but you figured it out early enough.
I did early enough. I figured it out when I figured it out, and
Right.
thank goodness.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And now look at you. You here. You're living the dream.
Yeah.
Like, how is it being in New York City based on coming from Virginia?
I mean, to say the pace of life is completely like from 0 to 100, like that's an understatement.
Right.
Everything's more expensive, you know.
Everything.
You know, you don't realize that like it was when I moved back to New York after COVID. That was my first time living on my own.
Right.
So my first apartment that I've ever had was here in New York. You don't realize the difference between apartment living and house living in like suburbia until you're in it, dude.
Yeah.
And like I've been here for 4 years now.
Right.
And I'm like, there are certain things that I'm so grateful for. And to people like in Virginia, they're like, what do you mean you don't have that?
Right.
What do you mean you don't have a dishwasher?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have a washer and dryer in your
Right.
apartment? I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm lucky there's an elevator,
Right.
actually.
I don't have to climb the steps every day.
I'm not walking up 7 floors.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
And how has it ever broken?
Well, I have 2. I have
Yeah.
2. Thank God.
Thank God, because if not, man, going up 7 floors.
Absolutely not. I don't think I could have done it. But it's those things that, like, apartment living is so much different than living in a house.
Night and day.
Night and day. And what is it up like with apartments? I feel like everything's dirty all the time. Everything's got a little bit of dust
Man,
on it. You know what I mean?
Everything does. And it doesn't come from you.
No, it's
Like,
just the building.
Yeah, the building's all old and what
is
not
that?
even going into that, but good stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing because
Yeah.
anybody that's lived in an apartment, you know what we're talking about.
You know what's up. You know what's up.
So let's get into the acting, man.
Yeah.
So you got to New York City. How long before you got your first acting gig?
Ooh, okay. I have to go back in time 4 years ago. I was 21 when I moved here. So I think my first gig I got in my first year of living here. It was a little short film. You know, it paid pennies, but it was just so cool to be on set.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. It was a cool little script, and everybody that worked on it was awesome, and it was fun, and it was close-knit, and I hold that experience very close to my heart. And then soon after that, I think it wasn't until the next year that I booked another short with the director Luke, who I've become really, really close friends with.
Shout out to Luke.
Shout out Luke. Shout out Luke Giganti. And I've worked with him on other projects since then. So it's started to build that community. I think after a couple years, I think it takes a couple years of living here to kind of get that.
It does.
You know what I mean?
And to get exposed to the right people. Because, you can have a community of people that you don't really like. You might not have people that are rooting for you or pulling for you. But to find those people that are pulling for you, it's not an easy thing to do, especially in a place like New York City.
Absolutely. Like, I firmly believe, I think everybody believes this, that you have to surround yourself with like-minded people.
You should.
They don't have to be too similar because you need somebody to get you out of your comfort zone. Because I'm a
Right.
creature of comfort.
We all are.
I'm a homebody. I
Right.
like to be at home.
Yeah, you'll be
But
both.
I have friends and I have people in my life, both in the industry and in my personal life, that can pull me out of my comfort zone and get me places that I probably wouldn't have gone myself.
Right.
And that's awesome, because if you have those people in your life, like, you always know whether you're low and things aren't working for you, you can look to those people and see that they're succeeding, and that feels really good.
Nothing like seeing
like
your people that you've been grinding with, and they're on the ground, they're just struggling.
Yes.
And then they get something huge, and it lifts everybody around them up,
Everybody's
including them.
Yes. It's so cool. So cool. But not, I think, I went through a drought. I was unrepped for a long time. I had booked that short with Luke, and then I didn't work on anything for a year.
Oh, now talk about that.
Yeah.
Because everybody, everybody talks about when you're an actor and it's glamorous. To 9 out of 10 people that's not doing it, it's really glamour thing. Like, oh man, your
That's
life's
so cool.
Yeah. You're in New York City. You live in the city. It's super exciting. Talk about that year of not booking anything and going. I'm sure you had a job, going to your job, not booking anything, auditioning that whole time, but not booking anything. Talk about that experience.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have the classic acting day jobs. You're a barista, you're a server.
Yeah.
I think that has changed a lot, thankfully. But, finding something that has that flexibility to allow you to audition and then go in for an audition or go to a callback that's the next day that you didn't know about, that you got to work tomorrow anyway.
Right.
Finding a job like that is difficult, but then once you find it, that grind, you don't know it until you're in it. Like you're working, like I've been thankful that I can work part-time now, but at one point I was working, 5 days a week. And
Right.
it's like trying to explain to an employer, these other, 3 days that I'm off, or these other 2 days that I'm off,
Right.
I'm not off, baby. I am working.
Right.
And I'm also doing my laundry and cleaning
Right.
my house.
Right.
Which is really difficult. And then on top of that, you're going to this day job every day that kind of has nothing to do with what you actually want to do or what is
Right.
fulfilling to your soul.
Right.
That weighs on you too.
It does.
And then when you're in that drought, it's like the classic, I think I have it once a month, that freak out that every actor has of like, am I supposed to be doing this?
Yeah.
Will it ever pay off?
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
Maybe I should just get maybe I should be regular.
Maybe I should just work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, just be like everybody else.
Right? It comes often. It comes too much. But that was a very real thing, and something that when I went to AMDA, we had a teacher tell us this, and it stuck with me ever since. If you could see yourself doing anything else, do it.
Right.
Because this is not going to be easy. It's not going to be cute.
Right.
It's not going to be glam. So
Yep.
if you could see yourself doing something else that you could be fulfilled by or be successful at, you should probably do that, because this is not promising.
Right.
And that really stuck with me. And it reminds me why I do it, because there is nothing else that I would rather do.
That's
and I
right.
think that and the support of friends and family gets me through those droughts still. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
It's hard, but persevering is the hardest part. But then when you do get out of that, it's like, oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Nothing
I'm
better.
so happy to be here.
Right. It was
Yeah.
all worth it. Although that
All worth
whole
it.
year, all it takes is one callback, you get it.
Yep.
Life changes
It's
in
so
that
worth it.
instant.
Yes. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
is. It is.
It really is.
Right.
I'm really, even if I went a year without booking anything and I've been just working away at my day job that I don't even like, if that means that I get 2 weeks on set, thank you.
Right. You won.
I won.
Damn right.
Yes.
Damn right. So, talk about the experience of bringing a character to life. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot. I'm more of a character actor in general. I do
You
funny
are.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really getting deep into how you transform and make this person come to life. Talk about that experience for you, and what's your process?
I think I was just talking about this the other day. I'm a very character-based actor. Some
Right.
actors are not.
Right.
And they approach work and scenes and auditions differently. I don't know why, but character work has just always stuck with me.
Right.
And I think so far in my career, I've played very strong women that are going through something. There is something like tumultuous happening. And to put yourself into these positions that you wouldn't be in real life is difficult. And getting to that emotional space
Right.
and that mental state that these women, these people are in,
Right.
that's hard. That's really
is.
hard. And how do you make that believable? How do you do justice to this character, even though it's fictional?
is.
A lot of the things that I've done, it could be very real. This could be a person in real life. So how do you bring justice to telling a story like that? I do a lot of thinking as far as when I book something. I have 3 questions that I will ask a director or whoever I'm working with.
Right.
My first one is, if this character could have lived in a different decade, what decade would they have lived in? And what would they have done?
Good question.
2, what music does this character listen to?
Good
I'm a
question.
very music-based person.
Right.
I love listening to music on set. When I'm reading a script and getting ready for a role, I like to listen to the music that person's given me for that character.
Right.
I just did a feature in January with a really, really, really great team, and they were kind enough to give me a playlist for my character.
Love that.
It was the coolest thing ever. I was like, this is awesome. This
Right.
is what I've always wanted. I was so spoiled with that. I don't know. I just feel like everybody loves music. Almost everybody.
And
If you don't, that's weird.
And the music puts you in a good place where
Yeah.
you're trying to figure out what someone's feeling or going through, or the depth of that person, the music tells a lot of the story.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I've never heard somebody say that. So good stuff, man.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
taking that with me.
Yeah, you should.
It's
It's cool, and like, I don't know, it's nice to just kind of like set the tone for this person. Like when this character's sad, what are they listening to? Do they listen to music at all?
Right.
Because when I'm me as Hannah, when I'm sad, I can't listen to music.
Did you say as Hannah?
As Hannah.
You're always Hannah.
I'm always Hannah.
As Hannah. No, that's every day, girl. But so that's how you know it's a true actor when you say, when I'm Hannah?
When I'm me?
Yeah, that's right.
When I'm me, I can't listen to sad music.
No?
I know some people like to listen to sad music to really feel it out. I can't.
I cannot do sad music. I do sad music. Well, I do love songs, not necessarily sad music.
Yeah.
So love songs that they break up and it goes left.
Oh my
I
God.
can do those.
They kill me.
I can do
my
those.
God, it's so
man. But
hard.
some I can't. I don't do. Nah, I can do it. I can do it.
I'm
but
proud of you.
Not you.
No, not me.
Not at all?
As Hannah, not me.
As Hannah. Love that. As Hannah. See that's high level acting right there,
High-level
man. As
acting.
Hannah. So, talk about the audition process.
Yeah.
Because like we have actors, and like I've been saying, it's always about people. It's glamorous. You think, oh, that's awesome. I would love to do that. Da 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 da. But 9 times out of 10, when you're actually an actor, you're going through a bunch of stuff. You're becoming a character that you have to bring to life, and that's a responsibility. If in my mind, you're the right type of actor. You want to do justice to that person because there's people out there that you're representing, even though it's a fictional character.
Yeah, yeah.
So the audition process, you have to get into that character, but it's no guarantees.
Exactly.
So you got to learn. For anybody out there, you got to learn your lines. Then you got to bring them to life, and you got to put a spin on this character that you think that you're comfortable giving to the people.
Yeah.
But you may not get the role.
Exactly.
So you can love it. You're like, oh, I really got
perfect.
it now.
Yeah.
And then you don't get it.
Yeah.
So talk about the whole audition process and how you navigate it.
It's first of all, I feel like the audition process it can be time consuming if you let it. I used to be, when I first started out, I was doing like 10 takes for a self tape. Doing 10. And now I'm like, if we can do it in 1, we're done. We're packing it up. We're done. I feel like now when I'm taping for something, when I'm sending something in, those first 2-3 takes, one of those is going to be money. Because after you do it like 10 times, you've lost something. You got to throw that away because now you're thinking, oh, well, I should do it this way. And I think the thing that I had to get out of my head, and still some days need to get out of my head, is there's no right way to do an audition. I think there's that thought of, oh, I want to do it the way that they're looking for. I want to do it the way that casting wants to see. You have to do it the way that you want to do it with what you're given. You know, because that's what sets you apart as an actor from all of the other thousands of people that they're looking at. Is like, what's your spin on what they're giving you? There's no right. There's literally no right or wrong. It's either you fit for it or you don't. And also learning and having to throw away that feeling of right and wrong in the sense that you could be so talented. And unfortunately, a lot of auditions, it doesn't matter. It doesn't come down to skill. It's going to, unfortunately, come down to this very superficial thing of, is it the look that they want? Maybe they've cast the other lead, the other romantic lead, and they have brown hair, and they don't want the other like romantic lead to have brown hair. We need them to look different. Or, you know, our male lead's too short, so we can't have Hannah come in because she's 5'11". You know, it comes down to that stuff too. And I think as much as that sucks, it's kind of comforting to be like, well, it's not me. Those are things I can't change about myself, you know? I'm gonna come with that regardless, and that look or that whatever is gonna fit into something someday, and somebody's gonna say yes. But I love taping, it's fun. Some days I hate it, I'm like, oh God, I don't wanna do this tape. Because you set everything up, and then you got your lines, you got everything printed out, you're all set up, great. Then you realize I don't have a reader.
Oh.
I don't have a reader.
And a reader. Explain to the people what a reader is, just so they know.
If you're unfamiliar, when you're sitting down to do like a tape, or before COVID, if you were like going into the audition room, you have somebody that's reading opposite the lines that you're going in for. And so now on camera, when you're taping at home, you typically have somebody in the room with you, or if you're me, on FaceTime, on a laptop, outside of frame, reading these lines to you.
Right.
It's just stuff like that makes you laugh, and you're like, damn, I got all this set up, and I don't even have somebody read the lines. The other day, I didn't have a reader, couldn't find anybody. Boyfriend's busy, my friends are all busy. So I had to take my sides, and I had to record on my laptop a voice memo.
Damn right.
And I would read the lines opposite me, and then read my lines like, okay.
Did you change your voice?
No.
Nice, even better, even better.
Because I feel like that could be distracting, you know what I mean?
It could.
It's like, wow, she really couldn't find a reader.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want. You
Right.
want them to pay attention to you,
Right.
not your reading. But it's so funny, and I think you try so hard to make it like perfect, but there's just no perfect. It's either it's gonna work or it's not, girl.
They're either gonna get it or they're not gonna get it.
And then somebody else will.
That's right. And that just wasn't for you.
And that wasn't for me.
That's
it. The way to think about it. That's how Ben and I think about it. Because he's an actor as well.
Love it.
All of my friends, we're all just like, what will be, will be.
That's right.
If it's gonna work, it's gonna work.
That's right.
And on to the next if not.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, Hannah, look
up?
into that camera and tell every young actor what you wanted to know when you were a young actor and you didn't know anything.
Yeah.
The one thing that's like, this is what they need to hear that's going to help them going forward in their process.
Yeah.
Straight there. Tell them. Look them in the eyes.
I think I'm looking at the camera.
Yep,
okay.
that's the one.
So, like I said, I moved to New York when I was 21, and thankfully and fortunately, I had a huge family like to support me and back me. I think what I was just touching on, honestly, it's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard, and like I said earlier, what that teacher said to me and all these other students, if you could see yourself doing something else and being fulfilled by it, maybe try that out. But if this is for you, do it. Because I swear to you, when it hits and you're on set and you're like matched with something that you feel really good about and is like resonant material, your soul will burst. It feels so cool. And even on the hard days when you're working, a hard day on set, if this is what you really want to do, or on stage, is way better than like working that day job that you don't want to work. You know, it's really fulfilling, and I wish somebody had told me in the beginning that there is no right and wrong. What you're doing is your best, and what you're doing is really hard, and what you're doing a lot of other people couldn't do, especially if you're in a city like New York or LA or wherever you are. If you're in suburbia doing this, that's even harder because these things aren't there for you. So if you're doing it, I wish somebody would have told me you're doing a great job. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay.
Love that. Good advice. Good advice. We don't hear that enough. You're doing a great job, by the way.
You're doing a great job.
Hey, man, I'm doing my best, man.
doing our
That's
best.
all we could
Yeah.
do. So we talked about off air. You're now, man, you have a representation.
Yeah.
Talk about that process of coming to New York, not having representation for 3 years, hearing about it and wanting it, all the possibilities out there. Talk about that process of going from being an unrepresented actor to a represented actor.
Yeah, I feel like, at least for me, graduating a very green actor, really excited, really scared, being being essentially prepared to fail. Like, it's gonna be a whole lot of no's, girly. It's gonna be a whole lot. I was like, I'm ready.
Right.
You're not ready. Those no's suck.
Yeah, they do.
So when you graduate, like, everybody's like, I want a manager. I want an agent. That should be like the best thing ever. It's okay to not be represented. I went unrepresented for a while, and I got to do really great work.
Right.
But remember that, at least the way that I see it, the correct management and representation is going to come to you. I think and this might be like unorthodox, but to me it's like law of attraction. it will come to you. The people that want you to do well will come to you because they see what you're good at and what your potential is. So but I didn't know that, and it was really difficult. And it's like I see other, actors my age that are repped and they're booking, and it's awesome. And I'm like, oh, damn, I really want to do that too.
Right.
Because nobody talks about how, like I said, with auditioning, self-submitting, it is some grueling work. You were sitting in front of that laptop for a long time because doing the tape is like not even the hard part.
No, that's the quick and easy part. You got to piece it together, and you have to have it all. Depends on the casting, but if you have to have it all in one thing, you can't have it. Oh man,
I hope you got a good laptop.
Yes, you have to have one, and you're gonna learn how to edit. You're gonna become an editor.
You're gonna be really good at editing.
Yeah.
But I was repped briefly, and it just wasn't a great fit, and I think that was really discouraging.
Right.
But I made the choice to leave that representation earlier this year, and I was telling you, I did a feature film, my second feature, and I worked with this really awesome actor, two really awesome actors. Shout out Jillian Jackson Hahn, my bestie, and shout out Ethan Daniel Corbett. Ethan and he played my brother in this feature, and he left this film and soon got represented by this manager. And he texted me like a few weeks ago. I can't believe it's literally only been maybe a month now. Texted me and it's like, hey, I was showing my manager some footage from the movie that we did together. And I'm in these scenes. It's our scene together.
Right.
And he's like, she wants to know, she is asking who you are, so I pitched you, and she would really like to be in contact with you. I flew out of my seat. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing laps around my apartment. I'm like, this is so awesome. Somebody wants me, this is awesome.
Right.
I immediately called her. I was like, do you think I can call her? Can I text her? Should I email her? What do you think I should do?
Yeah,
and he's like, you can call her, she's so chill. And I was like, okay. And I get on the phone, I'm so nervous. Her name is Versa Manos. Versa, I love you.
I love you too, Versa.
Gorgeous
Keep up the
media
good work. Keep up the good work.
I got on the phone with her, and she has the coolest voice ever, by the way. And I'm saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And she's like, I'm not a ma'am, I'm Versa, it's okay. And I was like, okay.
All right.
Phew.
Right.
And then boom, bop, bam, signed, and
love that.
We had just the most awesome conversation of, talking to me, what do you like? What are roles that you enjoy? What do you think you're good at? Like, what do you want to do?
Right.
Like, literally name roles, name shows that you could have seen yourself in. And then like all of the other logistical things. And it was really cool that somebody sat down with me and was like, what do you like?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, really? I like this.
Right.
And it feels really cool.
It does.
And I feel so gracious and I mean, like, grateful that she's been sending me, her and her assistant Sarah have been sending me so much work over the last few weeks, and that feels so cool. Like, having that representation finally, like,
coolest
when that
thing in the
happens, it is the coolest thing in the world. You're like, oh, I feel like an actor.
Right. You're not even going into casting networks or Actors Access.
I'm like, okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I received this and I am available.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
Well, Hannah.
Yeah.
We're at 28 minutes.
We're 28 minutes. I went
See,
really
what?
fast.
Didn't it feel like 5?
It felt like 5.
It felt like
could
5,
get
man. But yo,
forever.
because you tell a great story, and I'm proud of you.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing what you're doing, man. Love you. So everybody out there, look for Hannah. Because you're going to see her out and about. She's represented. Look, man, and remember where you seen her first? This was her first interview, y'all.
First interview, guys.
And
before I'm media trained.
I got a gift for you. Now, it's going to come out of this bag. It's going to look a little weird.
Okay.
Now, I'll be totally honest. I'm going to give you full transparency here. I had some rappers coming on, and this gift was for the group of rappers. I'm not going to say the names. They know who they are. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully you get here soon. But I'm going to give you one because at some point, you will need this.
What is this?
It's a face mask from Young Vets.
Shut up. Wait,
Yep.
I'm putting this on right now.
Young Vets.
Can I put this
Shout
on
out
right
to
now?
Young Vets for giving it to us. But bang, you see the V's? Yes, because at some point you're going to be needing that because you're going to be a huge star.
Oh, my God.
We believe in you around here. The
They're
early
never
evening
gonna
show
know it's
believes in
me.
you. Now,
This is so cool.
I don't know if you should wear it the whole time. You still got the tag on.
I really like it.
I like it. Look at
This is
yourself. Take a look.
awesome.
You look at, oh, you can't see yourself. Take a look at yourself, but it was cool.
That was awesome. Thank
Wasn't
you
it?
so much.
But keep it. And when you're a big star and you wear it, you make sure you send me a message. I have to see it.
Oh, I got you. It'll be a paparazzi pic
Yeah,
of me in
well,
there.
I would love to see it. It's gonna happen. Hannah, we're at 29:30. We're done, baby.
We're done, baby. We're
Thank you.
done. Yay!
I appreciate you. I love you. Nothing but best of luck. And this door is always open to you. If you ever